Are chakras real? Remember Robin Williams' Reality, what a concept. When people ask if the chakras are real, they're dealing with a concept, which is that the evidence of reality is always in the physical dimension. The evidence of the chakras are real if they can be found in the physical body, and they will not be found there. So part of the issue is the tendency to equate real with the physical, material aspects of life, and to limit our understanding, our acceptance of our full embodiment to be the physical body alone. If we look to the sages, to the saints, to the yogis, to the shaman, to all the mystics around the world, all of them in every continent, in every tradition, through every age, they've all taught, based on their own investigation of human embodiment, that our physical body is like the tip of an iceberg, and that the fullness of our embodied life extends beyond, or extends more deeply, to include subtle and super subtle dimensions of embodiment. So when we hear the word body, it's easy to assume that it means only our physical and familiar form. But the sages are pointing us to a recognition that we live in a continuum of embodiment, a series, as it were, of progressively more transparent, more vast embodiments that are sheathed or shielded or veiled or covered by our conditioned awareness. So what is being veiled? What's being veiled is both the fullness of our own nature, the fullness of our own being, and consequently, the fullness of our capacity to participate in the depths, the vast fullness and richness of life itself. So unveiling is the process of returning to conscious wholeness. Our consciousness is knotted up. The veils are like knots of identification. And the unbound radiance of being and the unbound nature of life are not accessible when we are identified with our limited views. So we're not going to find the chakras in the physical body, but we will experience the effects of the veiling, the effects of the knotting, of the contraction of these subtle consciousness centers. We will experience that physically. And we will also experience the unknotting in our physical embodiment. So there's many common experiences of this, like we all know what it feels like to have our heart broken in sorrow. We all know how differently that feels from having our heart blossom open in love and joy. So there are definite physical sensations, physical effects in both of these cases. And these effects permeate our whole physical system. But we say the heart is broken or the heart is open. The heart is the center, experientially, from which these effects seem to arise. Sensations, and not just physical sensations, psychological perceptions, our sense of ourself, our sense of the world. These are transformed when the heart opens, and they are transformed when the heart closes. For most of us, these heartbreaking or heart-opening experiences, they just seem to happen as our life situations change. But for the yogi, for the mystic, healing and opening the heart is a practice. This heart that our language points to is an experiential reality in the subtle dimensions of our being. And it can be modulated, it can be balanced, it can be gently opened through practices. And this is what the yogis have explored. They've explored how to move into this subtle dimension of experience with meditative practices, with sound, with imagery, with energetics, with breath. In short, with meditative rituals of inner cultivation that are congruent with and that impact this subtle heart dimension of our experience. But the heart chakra is just one of, it's a familiar one, it's almost a universal one that we all know just through living, but it's just one of the chakras in this subtle body system. And the degree to which they're knotted or unknotted, the degree to which they are veiled or unveiled, not only modulates our capacity to feel, experience, and recognize the presence of love, but also of many other qualities that are modulated or calibrated by the chakra that they are particularly associated with. So our sense of security, our sense of courage, our capacity to experience the messages and the wisdom of life, our capacity to express the wisdom that's within us, these are all modulated by this subtle body system known as the chakras. And each and every one of these chakras will respond to these meditative rituals, which are designed to heal the wounds, untangle the knots, lift the veils, and open us to the beauty of existence that is within and all around us. Are chakras real? Yes. They are as real as our experience allows them to be. Let's open them up and discover the beauty that is available.